YouTube! Welcome to the highlight channel and explanation of how my weekend went. What happened, what occurred, and why did we yet again once more scrub another TCG event? Let me tell you, the preparation leading up to this event was nada! I think on the way to the round 5 or 6 drop or whatever it was, I was still reading like how X works, you know. It's actually kind of crazy. I think it was like in the middle of like round 1 where I realized, wait a minute, X doesn't activate, you know, because I think someone tried to like charmy me or something, and that card doesn't activate. Yeah, crazy what happens in the TCG. But anyway, in all seriousness, this event was not to be taken seriously. As much as I was inspired by the beauty that is Team Samurai Sex 1 and Triff Gaming both winning a YCS this past season, I just, you know, had this fire burned inside me, like, oh man, I was jumping in back to competitive Yu-Gi-Oh! I really want to get back in, you know. These, like, it generally was so inspiring to see these people put in so much time, effort, and work so hard towards their goals, you know. But unfortunately, life finds a way. I know excuses, but just being busy with a child and a baby and stuff just means that I just can't have the time that I would like to afford to just sit and grind Dueling Book for like 5 hours an evening, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. I was probably just not going to attend this event, but I figured it's a UK event. I can get down there on the Friday, so I can spend minimal time within Birmingham. I mean, yeah, so minimal amount of time spent within the vicinity and radius of Birmingham City, as much as possible. Plus, of course, having a vendor as a friend is comes with its perks. So, you know, I was able to just borrow pure Ryzeal on the fly, which was a nice way to be able to get into the tournament and just play with a simple basic deck. Special, 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 add, overlay, pass. You know, it's a pretty simple deck, nothing too crazy and difficult about it. So what actually happened at my tournament? How did it go down? Well, you know, like I said, I didn't even really want to play that much. I didn't really want to enter, but I figured, you know, if I'm going to get the deck for free, then I might as well just, like, you know, borrow it and play it out and just see if I can sack myself into, like, day 2 at least or something like that. But yeah, what actually happened? Well, let's begin with the breakdown, I suppose. All right, ladies and gentlemen, look at that crazy-eyed selfie there. What a handsome young man, am I sure? Right? Right, guys? Right? Anyway. So round 1, how did it start out? I was playing against Yubel. Amazing start to the day. You know, round 1, I'm paired up against the cinematic cutscene, press X to skip, except there is no skip button. Imagine your controller gets unplugged in the middle of a Yubel cutscene. So I was playing Board Breaker Ryzeal, which if anyone actually cares as to what that looks like, I can bring it up on stream for a second. But if you know what Santoli's deck list looks like, it's pretty much just a full card for card rip there. Yeah, this is it basically. This was exactly card for card what I played at the YCS. Pretty clean list. Honestly, I didn't really feel like the deck list had much problems with it. So other than Ash and Imperm, there isn't really too many ways to stop this incredible cutscene by Yubel. So anyway, lost the dice roll, which was sad, and I lost game 1, which, you know, naturally is expected, I suppose. And then game 2, I went first, managed to clean it up quite nicely with just setting up this typical Ryzeal field. I think I had, like, Detonator doesn't feel that good against Yubel. I don't know how I won. I think I just had, like, I know I striked and judgmented at one point, so that was definitely enough. I think I judgmented the contact fusion of a Phantom of Yubel, and she basically completely scooped it up, which was really awesome because I wasn't really confident in my ability, to be honest with you. Seeing someone scoop that first game against you at a YCS feels really nice. Game number 3, she begins, does combo. There's an interaction where I'm sitting with Ash in hand, and she just immediately starts the turn with Activate Nightmare Throne. I don't know, question. Do you Ash Nightmare Throne, 5 cards in hand, immediately activate Throne, click Ash? I don't know, like, I wasn't sure. I waited, and it ended up paying off, because for whatever reason, she wasn't able to establish Phantom too early. So I actually ended up with a situation where, this was my only disruption, by the way, which is, you know, hand traps. I basically ended up in a situation where she couldn't make an early Phantom, or maybe she misplayed or something, but she did get to a Spirit of Yubel, and I ashed Spirit of Yubel. So she didn't have Nightmare Pain, which was actually pretty good, you know, relevant. But regardless, she's still able to do the full combo. And then after passing on full combo, I don't know if it's full combo, but there was a lot of stuff to deal with. There was like a Caesar, Phantom, a Desiree, a Soul of Rage, trap card, right? I mean, that's just the Ubel cinematic. So I activate double, no, not double. I activate Ultimate Slayer, you know, so I'm like, okay, I'm feeling kind of good here, you know, Ultimate Slayer, spin away the Caesar, Aggregator, negate the Phantom of Ubel, but it's still really hard to interact with Soul of Rage with Ryzeal. You know, so I like special summon a Ryzeal, I think I had to start with Ice Ryzeal, put 2 bodies on the field, but I had no way to interact with the Soul of Rage. So she just goes like, Soul of Rage, link off my sword, and then make SP, and then SP banish the second one. So it's like 2 of my bodies were gone, despite resolving Ultimate Slayer. And from there, it was just, you know, kind of sad. The last card in her hand, I think, was like Droll. You know, when, you know, the combo in TCG where you go Necroquip, activate Fiendish Engraver. She drew a card, and I'm pretty sure she drew Droll and Lockbird off the top. So I was like, well, I can't search extenders. Yeah, so I just lost to an SP Soul of Rage. So that was annoying. But it is what it is, you know? You just gotta take those losses when they happen. Was it round number 2 here? Yeah, okay, so round number 2, I played against Mermel. Lost the coin flip against Mermel, which is, when you're playing board breakers, is an auto loss. So already, my board breaker deck is playing against the cinematic experiences of the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. I lose the dice roll against Mermel, but I'm so lucky because he completely Omega Turbo Donkey Bricked. Like, he goes, pass. No cards on the field. Nothing, like, nothing activated. No starter, no Neptibus. Pass. I start playing. There's a Charmy, which is the only reason why anyone would pass on no cards, because that's the activation requirement of the Charmies. So I end on, like, a Detonator. I don't know he's playing Mermel at this point. Some way, somehow, I managed to grind out of this game. And win the duel. Game number 2. He did full combo. He summoned Neptibus. I lost 2 cards out my hand. I lost a third one with, like, the Minstrel or something. I try and play the game, and everything disrupts me. I drew Ultimate Slayer. I'm like, Ultimate Slayer! Bounce away! Totally awesome! It can't be targeted. What do you mean it can't be Yeah, the Neptibus Link monster is disgusting. Yeah, board breakers apparently just don't beat Mermel, especially when they rip 2 cards out your hand. But anyway, we go into game 3, and the saddest thing ever happens. I'm looking through my side deck in game 3 because it's the first time that I'm going first against Mermel, so I didn't, like, side out Ultimate Slayer. I'm looking through my side deck, and for the life of me, I can't find my 3rd Ultimate Slayer, because why would I play Ultimate Slayer going first? I'm trying to put in 3 Judgments, and I think I'm also trying to side Inscription against Mermel, which is pretty good. I think it's good if you can't special from, or activate cards in the grave. And I can't find my 3rd Ultimate Slayer. I'm just like, I'm fanning through my cards. I have 15 cards in my side deck, and I cannot find my 3rd Ultimate Slayer. And I'm panicking. I'm like, shit, what do I do? I look everywhere. I look under the table. I look in my bag. I look in my ass. It's not there. So I call a judge over, and I get a match loss. Because I must have played game 1 and 2 with an illegal deck. Right? Because there's just a card missing. And, you know, if I want to be a scumbag, technically I can just keep playing. Right? But obviously I'm not going to do that. So I just had like a 38 card deck. Why did you say it? Just check. So that was a possibility. In theory, you could do this. But that's terrible. So anyway, so what it meant was that I technically played game 1 and 2 with an illegal deck. Now, this is where my story gets even more sad and depressing. Knowing me as a person who is extremely organized and, you know, is able to really, like, fully concentrate and just settle their brain and think really well through a turn without having ADHD tangents and stuff like that. You guys know me, right? Eventually, after looking around and trying to figure out what's going on here, this is what happened. Because I forgot my mat. Yes, not taking a mat to a YCS. Big brain. So the way that the tables work at the YCS is that you have, like, imagine this is like a table, right? This is your table that you play. It's a 2-person table. And there's like a big piece of cloth over the table, right? it just so happened that I was sitting at the intersection of this piece of cloth. So here is the two pieces of cloth that go over. So they kind of like fold over each other like this. Just two big black pieces of cloth. So I didn't have a mat. So what happened was, somehow before the game started, as I was shuffling my pile of cards, underneath the piece of cloth, I had just two of my cards went under there. And I must have just played game 1 and 2 with a 38 card deck. So I didn't realize in game 1 and 2 because my cards were Ultimate Slayer and Ash Blossom. I don't side out Ultimate Slayer going second. That's why I kept it in game 2, even though it's kind of bad against Mermail for whatever reason. And Ash Blossom I never side out ever. So two of my cards slipped under the tablecloth before game 1 and 2. So I just had to tell the judge, I'm sorry, I presented an illegal deck, clearly. That's actually funny. It is pretty funny, to be fair, you know? Must be frustrating. I think if I really cared about performing well at a YCS, this would have tilted me off the face of the earth. But if I really cared about playing at a YCS, I think I would have remembered my mat. So anyway, pro tip for anyone attending a real tier 2 plus event, basic supplies are actually kind of necessary, okay? I know some pro players, like I think Christian Urena, likes to play without a mat, which is obscene. But it takes supplies. Take a notepad, take a mat, take a deck box, take some sleeves with extra sleeves in case some of yours get damaged, etc. Okay, you take your supply. I know, crazy, but the most obscene thing happened. And by the way, my weekend gets worse. By the way, just not even talking about gameplay, my weekend gets worse. So anyway, yeah, I thought starting the tournament 0-2 was a good omen or something, but it didn't really work out. I think I won one more game after this. My score, I ended up going like 1-3 or some shit. It was abysmal. It was terrible. I think I played against Fiendsmith Ryziel as one of the duelists that knocked me out, and I can't remember exactly what happened. But it was really funny. She won the dice roll, and I won game 1 because I got double Ultimate Slayer. That card isn't once per turn. I checked. I made sure I wasn't cheating. For some reason, this card isn't once per turn. So I Ultimate Slayer Detonator, negate Caesar, and I Ultimate Slayer Duo Drive, and then just, you know, make sure the Ryziel Caesar are in the extra deck. So that was really funny. It does target, yes, but you can't respond to it, and it's not once per turn, so yeah. Anyway, I think I won that game, but then I ended up losing the match. I don't remember what happened exactly, and then I just dropped, and it was basically it. So that was it for the Yu-Gi-Oh! How could it possibly get much worse from this? Okay, it gets so much worse. I'm sure there was like a bunch of silly, dumb things that happened in between the tournaments on the Saturday and the Sunday. Nothing too insane other than just, you know, occasionally, you know, guys, I like to say thank you so much for saying hi. Thank you so much for asking for a picture, for getting me to sign your card, etc., etc. But please, I beg you, just stop coming up to me and giving me your unprompted full YGO Pro replay breakdown. There was probably a handful of people I just didn't need you to tell me your entire 3-game synopsis. Right? Like please, like, you don't, like, just walk straight up, just, hey, Farfa, what did you play this weekend? And before I can even finish saying what deck I played, they're just like, dude, I played this deck, and then game 1, I opened, this was my hand. So I played through Ash Blossom, and then I activated this card, and then, brother, I just, listen, I don't want to say I don't care, but, like, try not do it unprompted, okay? You know what I'm saying? I will do that. Who asked? But anyway, this is why it got worse. At least this is like the biggest dumb thing that I can remember that I did. So we come back to the airport this morning, leaving Birmingham. Yes, thank God. Oh, so good. What we leave the hotel at like 5:30 a.m. Get to the airport super early. I'm groggy. I'm sad. I hate life. I'm still in Birmingham. I've done poorly. I didn't even really make any content. Konami didn't even have a content creator area set up, by the way. So I get to the airport and I scan my boarding pass. Failed to recognize data or something. Speak to member of staff. I'm like sitting there like, what am I? I'm on some like terror watch list? Like, what is this? Scan my boarding pass again. Failed to initialize data or whatever. Speak to member of staff. Scratching my head like, the fuck is this? I walk over to a member of staff. Hey, my boarding pass isn't working. So she's like, you know, tapping away at the computer like, yep. Checking the flight number, you know, yeah, flight number seems accurate. Okay, let's check the booking code. Uh-huh. What date is it today? Chat, what's today's date? Today is the 10th. The 10th. See, you're being very vague. This is why it's important. Today is the 10th of what, chat? What the 10th of what? Be specific. See, this is the issue. Today's the 10th of February. What month do you think I booked my return ticket from? I booked the 10th of March. My return ticket was booked 10th of March. Not 10th of February, 10th of March. I don't know. Somehow on the EasyJet website, when I was booking the return, I think like I just clicked the calendar because I wasn't even planning on going to this YCS. I booked my flight like 4 days before, so I must have just in a rush clicked the 10 number. Because why would they show you so many more months in advance of like the date that you pick? So it must have been like 7th of February, we leave. 10th of February, I just saw 10. I was like, oh yeah, 10th of February. 10th of March is when I booked my ticket. So I just went down to the EasyJet counter to, you know, where they put their baggage or whatever, the help desk. Hey, I've booked the wrong flight. Can you help me? Oh, you're gonna have to go to like the customer service point or whatever. I go to the customer service point. Tap, 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 tap. Yeah, you've booked the wrong date. Really? No way. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. I booked the wrong date. Can you help me? Is it? Can you transfer me over? Can you move my ticket? Tap, 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 tap. Yeah. So it says here on the website it's going to cost you about $70 more. Like, okay, you can't just transfer it or something. Do I have to pay a fee? It's like, yeah, that's the best price you're getting on the website right now. I'm just sitting there like, what do you mean the website? Like, can't you just, like, don't you have some internal tools? Like, don't you have some, like, internal program as a member of staff that is able to, like, circumvent? Like, no, you just book it on the website. I take out my phone and I just go on the app and I just buy another ticket. That's it. I have to buy another ticket. $70. Oh, wait. I have a bag with me. I have a little mini suitcase, a cabin bag. See, these airlines, they like to scam you. They give you like super cheap flight deals, unless of course you purchase on the day. You know, it's like, you know, £30 return with Ryanair. You get to go to like Morocco for £30 return. Yeah, but then like you don't get a bag. You have to sit in like the fucking turbine. Or like, you know, literally in like the engine or something, you know, so like if you want to like not like feel like shit or actually bring clothes with you, you know, you need to pay like an add-on and an add-on and an add-on and an extra. Right, so anyway, £50 extra just for a cabin bag. So I've went minus like, I think it was like 120, somewhere between 120, 130 I paid total for an extra flight. On top of the late flight that I already booked in order to go in the first place. My flight was 130 return before. Now today, I just paid 130 on top of that. So what is that, like 260? For a flight to Birmingham? Anyway, so we're eating breakfast at the Weatherspoon. Good old British breakfast, of course, like the most dog shit food, overpriced garbage from Weatherspoon, because that's sadly the culture and culinary experience that our country has amounted to. Despite colonizing 90% of the planet, the best we could come up with is fucking dry-ass sausage and eggs. And beans. But anyway, so I'm chatting away on my phone to customer service, asking, shoutouts to Bashir, by the way. 07, you're a real one. Bashir, as a gesture of goodwill, refunded me the second half of my first flight. So I got 60 back from the first flight. So I'm still technically down like $60 minus, but at least it's not like 130 or whatever. So, You know, we got like a partial refund. Can't really complain about that. I guess it's the best that I could hope for in that situation. And yeah, it just felt really bad. Like, nothing went right for me. It gets worse! How? Okay, so we arrive at the airport in Glasgow. And we're going home, right? Just go home, forehead, right? Go to the, we have to take a shuttle bus that drives us to the parking lot because I paid for like airport parking for the weekend. So you call them on like this little airport phone thing, and then they come and take you up, and they drive the bus over to the parking, and then you get in your car and you drive home. I get to the airport parking office, and you know, I collect my car keys, and then you know, we get into the car, and I drop my friends off, and then I get back home. I get back home, and I'm just like, yes. Finally, I get to see my son again. I get to have a nice, relaxing nap before my stream. I open my car boot. Where's my bag? Where's my bag? Where the fuck are my cards? Where's my bag? Where's my underwear? Where's my phone? Where's my tablet? Like all of the expensive like devices and cards that I have. Like, where'd it go? I'm just like desperately asking like Jordan, hey, do you remember if I walked out of the airport with my bag? Do you remember if I like walked into the like bus with the bag? Do you remember if I walked off the bus with the bag? So I called the airport parking service. Thank God. Thankfully. It turns out that when I went to collect my keys at the airport parking, I just left the bag there. I just you sit here, you relax, you're done. So yeah. Come home, get some breakfast with wife, and then go back, drive all the way back to the airport, and then drive all the way back home just to collect my stuff. Thankfully, everything was in order, etc., etc. Oh, just like nothing went right, man. Like nothing went right, you know? It's just, it wasn't my day, my week. Like, you know, I just didn't have a great time mentally. My mom always says, Nadir, راسك متقوب. Got a hole in your head, you know? لو كان راسك مشي على جسمك تنسى راسك. If your head wasn't attached to your body, you would lose your head, which is true. Like if this part of my anatomy wasn't screwed on here, I'd probably just lose it. I don't know. Am I getting like senile or something? Is it an age thing or is it ADHD? I'm praying that it's just like, you know, the undiagnosed ADHD rather than like actual, you know, gray matter turning to black rot inside of my skull. But yeah, no, it was sad on all fronts. Gameplay, socially, I'm not socially, I suppose. You know, logistically, it's just a big mess, dude. I'm such an idiot. It sucked, man. Like, it's so stressful. Going so minus on the ticket, you know, feels really bad. You know, because these events aren't even, like, cheap to go to. Like, I entered a side event, and I was like, okay, cool. Somehow this weekend gets worse, by the way. I entered a side event. I got second place at some basic-ass, like, mini local side event. So you get points, right? That's how the prizes work. You earn points. So I got second place. So I earned points. That's like a mat or a mat, by the way. I could have got myself a mat or like 2 packs of sleeves. So you get your points attached to your Cossi ID. So I go on over to the prize wall. I'm like, hey, I just got second place at this thing. Can I get 2 of these packs of sleeves, please? So I go to the prize wall. And they're just like, oh, sorry, it hasn't updated yet. It's like, well, I guess the local technically was like 10 minutes ago, so I guess I'll come back later. Left the event, I didn't spend my points. They expire at the end of the weekend. Just -9 on entering a side event. I don't even get my prizes. Just showed up, played, left. I could have just did that with my friends in the middle of the hall. What a shitty system, by the way. Can I just say, what a dumb system. Why do the points expire at the end of the event? I think in NA, you could just save your points. You can just accumulate them. But in EU, your points expire at the end of the event. So I enter this side event, and I just forget to spend my points. You know? And I wanted to enter more side events. I wanted to enter the Mega Regional for the Giant card. I slept in. Dodo. Oh, je fais dodo. I'm sleepy. I sleep in for that. You know, can't even attend that thing. Try and attend the second Mega Regional that occurs at like 2 p.m. 4 people come up to me from Twitter. Hey, Farfa, can I get those cards back that I lent you? Okay, I guess I'll play with a 12 card extra and a 36 card main. You know, just not everything sucks. It's just the worst weekend ever. Ugh. So yeah, didn't have a great time, all things together. But listen, it's a journey. We're building up towards the training season, the training session towards the end of the season. The most important events are coming up: European Championship, the National Championship. Which, by the way, I don't have an invite. I haven't attended any regionals this season. None. Haven't gone to any regionals. So I don't have an invite. So I have to hope that I get top 128 or whatever it is at the National Championship. And then if I get top 128 at the National Championship, maybe I'll attend the European Championship. I don't know. But yeah, overall, to conclude, if anyone has any questions, you know, feel free. I don't know really what questions you could possibly have for me, but if anyone wants to ask any questions, you know, go ahead. Leading up to this thing, you know, it was really sad. I did wish I could have put more time and effort, and I do really like the TCG right now. The format felt pretty fun. All of the games I lost, other than probably like the UBEL one, it did kind of feel like if I was just a little bit more familiar with my cards, if I was... So I was literally reading my cards as I go. I was like, oh, X. Oh, yeah, this search the light one. Which one's the light one? Sorry, the fire one. Which one's the the fire one? And by the way, the number of times I illegally search with bonfire is disgusting. Not trying to self-report too hard here, but I go bonfire, add sword, Ryziel, and my opponent's like, you can't do that. I'm like, what do you mean? It's a fire. It's like, yeah, but it's like, the pyros are the light monsters. The fires are the thunder. Why is that? Fire, thunder? Why are the fire monsters not the pyros? Do you know what I mean? Like, yeah, so I fucked that up once. You know, thankfully my opponent caught it. That doesn't really make any sense. You know, so ignoring all semblance of science aside, like, I was like, that's why I didn't do well. You know, it's just preparation. You know, why do these pro players do so well at these events? It's like, it's just practice. It's just practice. You know, eventually I got to the hang of it where I didn't have to read every card again. You know, because like round 1, I'm like X effect, and then I'm just like reading like, what does X actually do? Shoutouts to my round 1 opponent who like let me search with X, because I went like X, and she kind of realized that I was sort of like forgetting to search with X. You know, it isn't just send aggregator. It does do more than just send aggregator negate a card. You know, so yeah, just reading my cards as I go was not a good showing. Do want to put more time and effort in. I'm hoping a little bit of a spark from Blue Eyes will get me back into the game for TCG specifically. So I'm getting 3 structure decks tomorrow. We're going to try to do a little structure deck challenge at locals. And then I'm going to hopefully be able to borrow Lordly Load and maybe try a full power cooked up version of Blue Eyes next week. That should be pretty fun, you know. Blue Eyes Bat Chest, that'll hopefully get me nice back into the game. No, it wasn't Lily. All right, any questions? What do you use your head for? Nothing. Did you watch the final? Yeah, shoutouts to the Dinka Bui, of course. You know, must be said, absolutely insane gamer. Thank you for the host, Emre, appreciate it. Insane gamer. Absolute goated player, maybe potentially approaching legend status of Yu-Gi-Oh player. Probably is legendary in terms of Europe, at least for now. Unbelievable duelist. But it has to be admitted, and it has to be said, his opponent's brains kind of just turned to mush. Like, I don't know, he's got like the Conqueror's Haki or some shit, but when Dinka Bui plays against someone, they just kind of like start rotting internally, and they just fall apart. Like, I don't know what happened, dude. Like, his opponent's like Omega through, like just multiple times. Like, they just gifted him the fucking YCS, right? Like, they might as well have just like shook his hand and signed the slip, because like, what were some of those plays were like, what are you doing? Like, you know, the Malice player, I think they mentioned on stream it was like his first YCS. So of course, you know, not trying to judge here or anything. The amount of skill and dedication it takes to get that far, unbelievable. Huge shout outs. You know, and then I guess sometimes you just choke. It is what it is. He clearly just choked. He made a firewall instead of attacking for game. You just went access code, pop, if he has a card in hand, to trigger like a Garunix or a Bestial, you can thrust and Talon's take and attack for game. He made Firewall and passed. It wasn't even like a good Firewall, because Firewall's a light monster. He had Impulse in play for the rest of the... You know how Impulse's secret effect, the restriction, it says you can't activate light monsters for the rest of the duel? He made Firewall pass while Impulse was activated the previous... Like, it was just a 25 vanilla. He just yeeted his board into a 25 vanilla and then passed and then didn't attack. Like, it was... So, yeah, Dinkabui, obviously insane player. Crazy that 3 structure decks made it to the final of a YCS and won. But here he is, and it's just like... Yeah, I mean, his opponents literally just wanted him to win, clearly. What do you think about Fire King? What do you think about the Stampede card reveals? Oh, yeah, we can get into that in a bit as well. Why'd you not say hi to me? I was not in Birmingham. So many of you here probably saw me and just didn't say hi, which is weird. But guys, I'm not trying to be intimidating. When I say don't approach me at the YCS, I mean don't approach me to give me your 15-minute YGO Pro replay discussion of your entire event. Okay? If you want to come just say hi, ask how are you, get a picture, get a card signed, that's completely fine. I just don't need you to tell me, like, which hand trap it was that destroyed your turn 3 combo despite the negate that you had that could have been actually used on this. I don't care. I don't need to know that, right? But you know what I mean? Anyway, yeah. So, that was my tournament experience. That was my YCS. Had a great time. Onwards and upwards to Nationals. Let's see how that goes.